One of my favorite things to talk about with ADHD brain is what I have named the black hole versus the tornado portion of the brain. And really what that is looking at is how the ADHD person is managing or handling all of the things around them and really what is going on inside of their mind, their brain, and is there anything going on in their brain? So looking at that, we have really our two different versions of ADHD, and you're going to hear me say that a lot because ADHD in many ways lives in the extremes. So tornado versus black hole are definitely the extremes as another opportunity to talk about that. We're going to first talk about the tornado. Tornadoes I hear quite more often with our inattentive ADHD people. It means in their brain it's just going a million miles a minute. It's really overly excitable. There's just a million thoughts going on. That inattentive brain is just thinking about everything possible, and it's kind of like a tornado. It's just creating chaos and in all the ways. At moments it can get focused and tuned in, and others it can't. But what's really cool about the tornado brain is oftentimes these are the people who do really well having something like music to be able to help them zone in and focus, which is why a lot of people with inattentive ADHD do really well multitasking with music or TV in the backgrounds, etc. In contrast, though, we have our black hole brains, and black holes can never understand tornadoes, and tornadoes can really never understand black holes because they're just so polar different in how they are functioning, experiencing inner thoughts. Our black hole brains is really just that. Their mind is completely blank. So they don't have this internal monologue that a lot of neurotypical people or inattentive ADHD people tend to do. Their brain is just quiet. They're not able to really think through things. Their brain is just really quiet, and that is why these people tend to verbal process a lot. They tend to talk out loud, use everything around them as a sounding board, because that black hole just really prevents them from being able to think things through inside of their mind. Also of interest, a lot of times our black hole people are going to also be our hyperactive ADHD or predominantly hyperactive ADHD people. It's not a perfect science, but a lot of times the brain is just so hyperactive that it also just kind of goes into that zone of just turning itself off quite often. And another cool fact, a lot of people with our black hole brain also have what's called stage 5 aphantasia. What is that? It is how well you're able to visualize something. There's an amazing test if you go online. It's called the 5 stages of aphantasia, but basically it is visualize what an apple looks like in your mind. A stage 1 means fantastic visual memory skills. You're able to really picture a 3D apple in all of its glory. And then it goes down to a stage 5, which is complete aphantasia, and it is the complete inability to visualize anything. It is just a black hole. It's a black screen, and that is what I'm talking about also for these black hole people. They do not visualize things is similar to other people. They will talk things out. And also really interesting is when we are dreaming as a black hole, we don't dream in video, much like other people do. The black hole brains actually visualize more in like a storyline. They talk things out. They might visualize with some color, but it's not going to be that typical type of dreaming. In fact, a lot of people with complete aphantasia as well as a black hole brain have no idea that other people actually have movies within their brain when they are dreaming. So complete aphantasia is also going to parallel with that black hole brain very frequently, purely because it's that inability to visualize or think things through within their brain. That's why it is called the black hole. So again, you've got your black hole versus tornado, and in many ways it's that hyperactive versus inattentive approach to functioning in the world around us. Our black hole brains are oftentimes going to be completely overwhelmed by sound when they are trying to think. They oftentimes do not do well with music. If they are having TV in the background, it really is nothing more than a white noise impact, and they have very often no awareness of what is going on that screen. As you were thinking about the black hole brains versus the tornado brains, I definitely want you to keep in mind how those verbal processing challenges really do impact those black hole brains, and that difference in how both brains are perceiving and interacting with everyone around them.